All right, this thing's recording. One sec. Let's get a better angle here. Hopefully, this doesn't cause or take up too much space, but as much as I can get done without having to buy a camera or anything. But man, what a day! Crazy, crazy day. Like, there's just so much going on in the world. There's so much going on obviously in the sports world, but today, I mean, locally, nationally. Man, we're up here in beautiful British Columbia, and well, it's been a day of sports, that's for sure. It's been there's a lot going on. There's a lot that's happening today. I think obviously the most important thing I think is just how insane this dude Patrick Marleau is. How he is playing hockey in 24 seasons it's been. If he comes back next year, it'll be 25. This dude is just insane. This guy's ridiculous. Like, he is still playing. He's 42. He can probably come back next year. I don't see why not. But this dude is now played 1,768 games. That is insane. That is just ridiculous. He's playing tonight against Vegas. Let's see what the score is. The game is tied 2-2. It's in the third period right now. This dude Patrick Marleau, man. Stone has 2 goals, 2 power play goals. There he is, man. Patrick Marleau. 1 shot, 13 minutes, 40 seconds ice time. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Tampa Bay fan, and Tampa Bay Lightning successfully beat a very, very tough team to beat, because I don't think there's any comparison at all. The only way Vasilevsky could win the Vezina this year is if he manages to get a insurpassable amount of wins compared to whoever is second place. I do believe he's first place. Him or Mrazek or Fleury are first place. Reimer has played a lot of games for the Hurricanes, but I'm just so glad that Tampa Bay was able to beat Carolina today in overtime, because I really didn't think that they were up 2-0. Tampa Bay looked like they were going to have an easy win, but Carolina just came back, man. They've got so many good players on their team. McDavid had an amazing goal, just a ridiculously amazing goal. There was about 4.5 minutes left in the game. It ended up being the game winner. A couple empty netters. Throw him in, You're not gonna catch McDavid. This guy just, oh my goodness, dude. But Patrick Marleau, man, he's the story today. I can't give it to Curry. I can't. The craziest thing that's happening in sports right now is Patrick Marleau. Second is Steph Curry. Yeah, that is just ridiculous, though. But congratulations, Patrick Marleau. Steph Curry had 49 points today. The Warriors beat Philadelphia earlier today. Just another insane performance. I think this has to be one of the greatest performances that Curry has ever been able to exhibit in a season. His shooting ability is insane. Just his shooting is not even, it's like every game is a warm-up. It's just an empty gym with him. And I don't think any of us, including myself, are ever going to be able to really know just how good this guy is at shooting the basketball. He had 10 threes again today. That's 46. 46 in his last 5. And a lot of teams can't even put up 10 in a game. This guy does it single-handedly. I do think that Nikola Jokic is going to win the MVP this year. If the Warriors finish 6th, at least 6th, the Nuggets are probably going to finish 5th or 4th or 5th. The Warriors have to make the playoffs. They have to be in a contending spot. They can't be 8th. I think if Curry has enough power to put the Warriors into at least being a top tier team, if you're 6th in the West, you're a top tier team in the league, because the East isn't level enough to compare itself. 6th place in the East is nowhere close to 6th in the West. What Steph Curry is doing is remarkable. Nikola Jokic has more help than him. That is how his team is able to win more games. It's kind of strange to think that, because the Warriors do look like a good team. They really do. And the reason that they won today is because Curry almost scored half the team's points, and he had just enough to help. And I think he got a decent amount of help. He got an average amount of help today. But they were still able to beat the Sixers. Sixers did not have Ben Simmons or Tobias Harris. The Milwaukee Bucks lost again today. I don't think Giannis is going to win MVP unless he goes on an absolute tear. I did want him to win the last couple of years. I was surprised he won last year, to be honest. They lost to the Suns today, 128 to 127 in overtime. Obviously, a valiant effort to the Bucks. The Bucks are still a bit of a question mark this year. I'm not sure how well they're going to do. There's a lot of things that I think we can be excited for come playoffs. We want to know how good these teams are. Every single team, except for the Lakers, I think we want to know how good they're going to be this year. Nikola Jokic had 47 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists today. I'm afraid that's just a little bit better. He came off with the win. The Grizzlies on paper look like a team that you should be able to beat probably in 5 games in a playoff series, but apparently not. The Jazz beat the Lakers again today. No one cares. A lot of good basketball games today. A lot of nice matchups here. But my goodness, dude. Steph Curry is just out of his mind these days. Oh my gosh, bro. Jack Flaherty, another amazing game. Bless up. Bless up, Jack Flaherty. Dude, Paul DeJong, man. This guy. So, if you don't know who Paul DeJong is, he pretty much was like I'm going to put this in basketball terms, probably the 4th or 5th option for the Cardinals. Yet this dude manages to have huge moments in these so far this year. But man, he was in a drought. He puts up big moments. He had a huge game today, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. But man, he was struggling up until this point. So Paul DeJong is not the Goldschmidt or the Arenado or even the Edman that the Cardinals need. But obviously, I wasn't thrilled. If you guys didn't know, I wasn't thrilled. Honestly, not obviously. People would think, oh yeah, okay, the Cardinals have Arenado. Now they're going to be an amazing competitor to some of the bigger teams, especially in their division. You know, they're going to give the Cubs a run for their money. They're going to give the Brewers a run for their money. But honestly, not having Wong, not having Fowler, I think the Cardinals have a lot to work on, because I'm personally not an Arenado guy. He did not have a good season last year, but he has been historically great. I understand that. But you know who else has been historically great? Mookie Betts. And this dude, let's see, does he have a hit yet today? I think he has a hit today, which is okay. He gets hits. That game is still going on. So he's 2 for 4 today at bat. They're losing again, man. The Dodgers were so good last year because Betts was playing like an MVP. Who else was having an amazing year? They were not settling, dude. Corey Seager was having an amazing year, dude. Cody Bellinger, those guys have not been able to perform this year. I don't think at that level at all. AJ Pollock had, what was it, 16 or 17 home runs last year, and the league leader was 22. Luke Voigt had 22 home runs last year. AJ Pollock and Mookie Betts are playing like a couple of they're playing like a couple of tumbleweeds this year. And the Dodgers are still playing exceptional. Somehow they might lose. They might be playing like the Utah Jazz. If you know what the Utah Jazz are like, they just can't seem to win on the road. But they're just dominant at home. Now, granted, that was quite the game the other night against the Padres. That was so entertaining. I think that was 2 nights ago up against the Padres. But I think like the ultimate skill and competency and domination that the Dodgers can give will be dictated by their performance in the playoffs and their ability to play on the road, which is why I don't take the Utah Jazz seriously. I take the Dodgers seriously because they won the World Series last season, but I do not take the Utah Jazz seriously. I just can't. Unfortunately not. But I will let you know that they are one of the top teams that I'm interested in seeing how they progress and how they perform this year in the playoffs. Last year they got bumped out of the first round, and that's kind of how it's been in the West when you play the Golden State Warriors. Or the Houston Astros. When you play the Houston Astros, what am I saying? The Rockets. Jeez, sorry, I shouldn't be crowding in all these different sports right now. But like I was saying, there's a lot going on. Last thing in baseball news: Castellanos is going to serve his 2-game suspension starting tomorrow. So basically what happened was he was going to be suspended last week because he got into an altercation against the Cardinals. He was still able to play, but his appeal failed today. So he will be serving the next 2 games. I believe they had today off. So Thursday he'll be able to return, which isn't too bad for you fantasy owners because he hasn't exactly been performing at the MVP level that he was starting the season with. I think he's the best player on the team, but he was just slowing down a lot. He was killing it, 5 home runs in his first, I think, 10 games or less. I think it was less than 10 games, but obviously he's still killing it. He's just been slowing down a lot ever since pretty much ever since that whole I guess he wasn't sure if he was going to play or not. I wasn't sure if he was going to play or not. But 2 games suspended.